Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Robbie the Painter. I'm Robbie, and today's episode, we are only going to be using two colors, and I have them on my palette here. We're using Prussian blue, titanium white, and right here in the middle, I mixed a little bit of Prussian blue and more titanium white than Prussian blue. Prussian blue is very strong, and so you don't need much of that, but I've kind of got a medium blue in the middle. So these Prussian blue, titanium white, let's get into the painting. We're doing a winter scene today. I thought that would be fun. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Those of you that are coming back, welcome back. I see LZ out there and Bo and Jules. Everybody's watching. Good to have you with me. Okay, we are going to grab our 2-inch brush, come into some Prussian blue, straight Prussian blue, and just tap, pulling some Prussian blue out. This is really a dark blue. I like it for winter scenes. And you'll see, doesn't take much Prussian blue. So we're going to put some across the top here, and I'm just doing little X strokes here. The canvas has already got the liquid white. I forgot to say that. Thin coat of liquid white so that our paint moves and blends as we're kind of mixes on the canvas. And if you don't know how to apply the liquid white, jump out of this video, go watch the 3-minute video that I have on how to apply the liquid white, then come back and jump into this episode. All right? I was doing a little bit of singing yesterday, so my voice is a little raspy and hoarse. So bear with me on that. We're going to come over here from the side, come across from the outside in towards the center. That's the way we're going to do our water. Not sure where the water's going yet, but it's going to be down here somewhere. And come across. You want to try to make these lines straight, horizontal as much as possible. If you do your lines kind of at an angle, then it looks like your water's running downhill, and we don't want that. Now, our same dirty brush, let's come up here and blend some of this together. Lightly back and forth to take out those circle lines and anything else that we've got in there. Okay, we've got a sky, and we've got a little bit of water, or what's going to be water down here. So let's grab our medium-sized fan brush. This is a number 4. We're going to go into the titanium white. We're just going to load up some titanium white on both sides of the fan brush. We're going to come up here. We're going to put in some clouds here and there, and I'm just going to make random squiggly motions with the paintbrush, putting the paint on there and twisting, and maybe circles. We've got our dry 2-inch brush. We're going to come up here and just underneath the clouds, we're going to take the top edge, this corner here of the brush, and we're going to put it against the canvas and do little circles, leaving the very top of the clouds what looks to be like a cloud. I'm going to leave that alone for a second. And we go lightly across. Lightly across. Just a whisper. We're going to go into this middle color, this medium blue that we mixed up. We're going to put some mountains in here. And this time we're going to go into the Prussian blue. Still my same dirty brush, haven't washed it off. So it's got white, it's got medium blue, and now it's got Prussian blue on there. Now let's switch over to the palette knife. Let's grab a little tiny bit, just a little little bit of titanium white at the very end, and I'm using very little. It's maybe too much. We're going to come up here to the top of our mountain and lay it and just pull very lightly. Grab a little more. Come up to this other peak. We're going to go to a liner brush, and I want to bring a stream in here. Sticking with the liner brush, we're going to take that medium blue, and we're going to put some distant trees back in here. And I'm just drawing little lines, vertical lines. Okay, so we've got our river, we've got some distant trees here, we've got a couple of the trees that are a little more defined, these in the background. We don't need definition on them. I just added in a little hill over here on the side, and I'm going to come in with my palette knife and a little tiny bit of titanium white. Let's get back to some trees. And we're going to grab our liner brush. Where's my liner brush? Okay. Back to that medium color. Got a few trees, got a few distant trees. We can throw some more trees here, I think, by the water's edge. I'd like to see some, wherever you think you need your trees. I'm just trying to show you a basic how to do your sky, how to lay in some simpler mountains, and then you can have a river or not a river, or you could do just a valley of trees. You could sit here with this little liner brush and do those distant trees over that whole thing. And as you get closer, they get bigger and darker. Every time something gets closer, to your, the foreground, make it a little darker. So that's usually the rule of thumb here. Going to grab our palette knife, get into some Prussian blue, straight Prussian blue, and just going to add a little shoreline here. Let's grab our liner brush, and we're going to put the indication of some of these trees reflecting in the water. Let's come across here, come straight down, very lightly. Let's grab our liner brush, let's clean it off real quick. We're going to go into straight titanium white. And we're going to come up here to this river. Just going to put a couple of lines in here. I'm using my hand against the easel and my thumb to brace it. And I'm going to come up here and add, just tapping. Water is splashing as it's hitting, as the stream is crashing over. Grab some more white. Let's add a little snow on the edge of this shoreline here. Grabbing titanium white. There we go. All right, let's put a shoreline, a little water line on this side. So we're going to grab a little roll of our white. We still have our palette knife. We've wiped off the white on it. And we're going to go into our Prussian blue and get a good amount of Prussian blue. We want some land over on this side of the water. So we're just going to use our palette knife. Okay, now let's grab our fan brush and let's come into our straight Prussian blue. Let's put a couple of big trees in here. Let's see, I think one's going to be right about there. And you remember how we do our evergreen trees? You start with the very corner of your fan brush and you come up here at the top and you just start like that and then back over to the other side and back and forth and back and forth. Get more paint. You're going to run out of paint real quick. Add more paint. And sometimes the branches go down in the other direction, but back and forth, back and forth. Start at the top, back and forth. Maybe he's had a rough life and a hard life. He doesn't have any branches here in the middle. We come down and we skip a little bit. Every tree isn't always the same. They don't all look the same. You can make them different. Let's put in a couple little bushes and we're going to take our same fan brush. We're going to hold it vertical and we're going to come up here and touch and touch and touch and touch. Just like that. And we're going to come down the other side and just make a little bush. We can make a little bit bigger one right here. Touch and come down. I think we're going to get into our titanium white. We're almost done with this. Just on the corner of the 2-inch brush. I think we're going to try to use the corner here and see how this works. These bushes that we put in here, these 3 that are similar, we're going to leave those alone. We're going to come in between them and add some highlights to these other bushes that are nearby. So get back into our white. Same thing over here. Maybe there's one over by this pine tree. Let's take our liner brush real quick, rinse it off. Actually, get some paint thinner on there. Let's thin this white out just a little bit. If you have a little blue on it, it's okay. But we want it thin. All right. I'll take this light color and just gonna add a little more foliage here. Just using the liner brush and kind of flicking it. Well, I think we've got a finished painting here. Hope you enjoyed this episode. 2 colors, blue and white. And let's go ahead and sign this before we go. Come down here in the corner. And there we go. We've got a finished painting. Until next time, see you later.